What's up, you guys? This is Rob from A Gay Guy Plays, and today on the Stance Spotlight, I know I have like not said that forever, but we are going to be taking a look at Cyclone Kraken. Now, you can find the new machete stance exclusively hidden away in the caches within the Grenier Fortress, so if you want to get your hands on it, you better get cracking. That was a terrible pun. Now, the first combo is Gale Triton, and it uses 3 basic attacks, and it looks like this. Now, honestly, I thought that it was going to be kind of like weird to use it in battle, but the more that I've kind of played around with it, and with enough attack speed, just as long as you're not using something like Spoiled Strike, it has a really good flow to it, and I'm actually very, very fond of it. Alrighty, so Thunder Hydra is a 1+5. That is like a whole lot of button mashing at the end. But I wanted to show you a little bit of a tip as to how to kind of get everything activated. As you can see with his first move, he's got a little bit of a backswing. That's when you want to go ahead and hit the next move and start, you know, just smashing away at your keys. But basically, it looks like this. There's the backswing, and then you activate the ability, and then boom, there's your combo. It's as simple as that. Next up is Lightning Siren. It is a 1-block 4, and it is super easy to use. All you have to do is toss in a block to your combos every now and then, and boom, you've got it triggered. And it looks a little bit like this. And last up is Leviathan Rain, which is a 2+4. Now, this one has some swishy bits that I really like and a really cool finish. But I wanted to show you how to trigger this one because there's a little bit of a trick to it, like a visual cue. So it's another pulling back one. So as you see right here, that pull back, that last pull back when you see his arm go, whoo, that's when you want to go ahead and activate it. So it looks like this. So he swishes forward. It's the favorite bit in the final little dash. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright, so all in all, I would like us to give a collective round of applause for Cyclone Kraken. Now, if I'm going to be frank, it is not the best melee stance that they've ever come up with, but oh dear God, does it make machetes far more usable. Like, Sundering Weave was hot garbage. It's rare that I say that something is hot garbage, but Sundering Weave was hot garbage. It used the same animation string like 3 times with only like a different ending on each bit. I was like, this is not helping because the base animation string just makes me feel like I'm hitting a piñata. I was like, no. But in Cyclone Kraken, you've got at least 3 good combos in there. I'm not the biggest fan of the second one, but the first one feels a lot more fluid than it looks, to be honest with you. I did not think that I was going to like it as much when I was actually using it in combat. The second one is kind of meh. The third one is the block one, which is pretty good. I mean, it's easy to hit. There's a lot of spins in there, lots of multi-hits. It looks pretty tick. And the one at the end, even though it does really feel like it too, I'll let it get away with it because it's got the cool swishy bit in the flip. And if you listen closely, right after he does the flip, you hear this cool shing sound, and I'm like, okay, you've won me the fuck over. So those are the facts and figures. If that's all you're here for, I will see you guys later. However, if you want to stick around to see a little bit more gameplay, we'll jump into that right now. Alright. So, I have a little bit of an admittal here. Is admittal a word? Because I'm gonna use it. But legit, so you can see that I'm currently using the Nami Solo. I actually, had to put a shit ton of Forma in it the other day. Well, not a shit ton. I had to put Forma in it, period. Because I didn't have Forma in it. Because machetes were pretty much crap, and I hated them. And, I really never ever used them. Until now, and it's like I had said in like the review portion, I don't think that this is the greatest, you know, I don't think that this is the greatest stance in the history of stances, but I think it's a pretty fucking solid stance, and it's a stance that actually makes me want to use this type of weapon. And that's the big thing, is before there was really no urge, no want for me to use this. To use machetes because the stance was so bad. And I don't know about the rest of you guys, but for me, when I use melee weapons, a big part is really determining which stance I'm going to use. You know, like, it determines how much I'm going to enjoy it, right? Because everybody has their own stance preferences, and to be honest, sometimes I like mixing it up. You know, I like changing things just a tad bit. To kind of keep things a little bit interesting. But Sundering Weave was the only stance available. It was a pretty atrocious stance. It was like a sad excuse for a stance. It was like one string over and over, and oh, it ends in a downward leap this time, or it ends in a forward dash this time, and I'm like, I can't, no. Like, I am not buying what you're selling. Listen. Like, it's just not one of the things that's gonna happen. It's not one of the things that's happening today. I'm not fond of it whatsoever. But this, there's just a good amount, and I love the little I know, it's so stupid. You guys are just... I love the little swish. You get the little... Okay, I was trying to do the swish move, but it's hard to tell sometimes with... Wait, hold on. Hold on! I'm doing a different combo now. That's not the combo I wanted to do. No, boo! But I think we're okay here, so let's go ahead and move forward. And I don't know if it seems to be true for the rest of you guys too, like that melee combos can really change things up. Because I know that there's a lot of people that only ever use the default move, and if there's like a blocking move or a forward move. Like, those are really the only two types that they use. And, you know, I can't blame them. In the heat of combat, sometimes it's hard to keep track, but, like, for me personally, I think it's kind of fun to, like, oh, I've got a dash, let's use the dash then, you know? I think that's kind of entertaining, but, that's just me. I don't know, that's one of the big things for me is, like, you know me, I always have, like, I always want to change things up. I always want to do things a little bit differently. So that can even be like a way to like spice things up, looking at weapons, melee weapons that you haven't used before, and maybe changing up the stances. And in Machete's cases, maybe reliving the terror that was inflicted upon you with the Sundering Weave stance. There you go. Oh, that's not the one. And see, this is precisely why I can't use Berserker, because I like having very specific timings on weapons, and I know that a lot of people love using Berserker on crit weapons, but me, I like to be able to kind of like have a little bit of control as to the rhythm, as to the rhythm of the night. Ah, you know, no, where did that come from? The gay is creeping out of my mouth right now. It's terrible. But yeah, the thing about this though, it does definitely get me really excited when it comes to the, you know, the new blade and sword stance. Well, it's not a new blade and sword stance, it's like a wielding mode, you know, the primary and the secondary, and to kind of like have machetes, because I know that machetes were one of the first things that they were talking about implementing in. They were going to do thrown weapons, machetes, and then one-handed swords, and I was like, oh, machetes, cool. I was really not living for that machete life, but I will say now it's not bad. And the thing is, the Nami Solo isn't really a bad weapon either. It's actually a pretty solid. It's actually a pretty solid machete. So part of me is like, it's nice to kind of like have something that pulls me back and says, hey, look at this thing. Look at this thing. It's actually not crap. You should try it out again. And I went ahead and tried it out, and it is really, really good. I was like, oh man, I forgot all about this, to the point where I was kind of like along the lines of like, hey, you know, we've got the Nami Solo. We've got the Nami Solo available to us. Let's take a look at this weapon that I haven't looked at, you know, for ages and ages. And I looked at its stat spread, and I was like, this is actually a not shit weapon. I mean, of course I reviewed it ages ago. Before there were things like, you know, the primed points, whatever. You know, all of the primed weapons for it, or all the primed mods for it, and all of like the status condition mods and like the blood rush and body count. So now looking at it now, I'm like, well, we got a cool new stance. We got a bunch of new mods. I was like, we gotta put some forma in this, and it would not have happened had I not gotten Cyclone Kraken. You know, without Cyclone Kraken, that wouldn't have been possible, and that's why I always kind of stress to you guys, try out the new fun stuff, mix things up a little bit, change things up, because you really never know what you're gonna find. So I guess that's my feelings of the day. One of the things that I do kind of want to put out to you is I rediscovered the Nami Solo, but I don't know, I'm almost thinking, do you guys think that I should do like a whole machete, not like a hardcore machete review, but like a machete overview? To kind of reinvigorate the machete love that is maybe barely in the community, like resuscitate the dying machete love. But anyway, let me know how you guys feel about this combo below. Did you guys hate Sundering Weave as much as I did? Let me know, and I will see you guys next time. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body, and try new things. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!